Have you ever wondered how a massive digital library, a place that holds just, incredible amounts of human knowledge, is actually put together? Well, today we're pulling back the curtain to look at the blueprint. We're going to explore how all that information is structured, organized, and most importantly, made accessible to you. So let's dive in.
I mean, we've all been there, right? You're staring at a search bar. You know the answer's out there somewhere, but you just feel completely and totally overwhelmed. And that feeling? That's the exact problem, that chaos of data, that well-designed digital libraries are built to solve. They create order out of all that noise.
So to make sense of all this, let's think about it this way. Imagine we're stepping into a massive, sprawling city of ideas. It's filled with everything you can imagine, from arts and humanities to biosciences. Now, to get around a city that big, what do you need? You need a map. And today, that's exactly what we're going to deconstruct.
All right, so our tour starts right at the main gate. And what you find is that pretty much every visitor, whether they realize it or not, comes in through one of two main doors. And the door you pick, it all depends on your goal. Are you here to learn something, or are you here to share something?
And this right here, this shows you that fundamental split. On the left, you've got the path of the reader. That's someone who's consuming knowledge, maybe browsing journals or digging into ebooks. But on the right, you have the creator, an author who wants to add to this city of ideas, and they're looking for the right place to publish their work. Two totally different journeys, but they both start right here.
So let's zoom in on the reader's toolbox for a second. The structure gives you these immediate, really practical pathways. If you're a student writing a paper, for example, you can literally go through an A to Z list of every single journal, or you can specifically hunt for open access stuff that's free to use. Or maybe you can just dive into ebooks for that deep background info. It's all about providing clear, direct routes to whatever it is you need.
Okay, so we've seen how we get in. Now let's explore what's actually inside. This is where we get to the good stuff, the map of subjects that organizes the entire world of human thought that's contained within these walls.
Just look at that number for a second, 30. That's how many major subject areas this one platform holds. It's just a powerful reminder of the sheer scale and diversity we're talking about here. It isn't just one field, it's like a cross-section of our collective academic quest for knowledge.
Let's start our tour in the arts and humanities wing. You can see the logic here, right? Everything is grouped together, from big categories like arts to super specific fields like museum and heritage studies. And that clustering? That's what makes a huge collection feel manageable. It means if you're researching Renaissance art, you'll probably find literature and history from that same period right next door, sparking connections you might have totally missed otherwise.
Now we're hopping over to the social and behavioral sciences wing, and you can see it's the same idea. Everything from education to politics is all clustered together. So if you're interested in how societies work, this is your neighborhood in the city. Instead of just a random pile of articles, you get this coherent collection of ideas, with all the relevant knowledge just a click away.
And this just shows you how comprehensive the whole map really is. We're rounding out our tour in the Science and Technology District, and you can see everything from theoretical math to applied engineering. This structure makes sure every major scientific discipline has its own place, which makes it so much easier to see the connections between, say, a breakthrough in computer science and how it can be applied in medicine.
So far, we've been the tourist, right? The reader, just exploring the city. But what if we switch hats? What if you're an architect, a creator, who wants to add a new building to this city? How does your research actually get onto these digital shelves?
Okay, but before we get into that, there's one key idea we've got to talk about: open access. This has been a huge shift in academic publishing. See, instead of putting knowledge behind a paywall, this model makes it totally free for anyone with an internet connection. And that dramatically changes who can access and build upon new ideas. It's a real game changer.
And here's the really crucial part. The platform doesn't just sit back and wait for people to submit their work. It actively guides creators. It gives them tools like a journal suggester to find the perfect home for a paper. It lists calls for papers for new opportunities. And it offers a step-by-step guide to demystify the whole process. It's a structured pathway for anyone who wants to contribute.
And I love this question, pulled straight from their author resources. Why publish with us? It gets right to the heart of the matter. It's a sign that they've shifted from just being a place to store information to being a partner for creators, actively making a case for why their platform is the best place to share new knowledge with the world. So, we've seen the two doors, we've walked the map, we've even peeked into the creator's workshop. Now, let's pull back and ask the big one. So what? Why does this careful, deliberate structure actually matter so much? And honestly, this is the whole point of our tour today.
A random website is just a list of links, but a digital library, a real knowledge hub, is a system. It's an intentional design built to do one thing: to perform this incredible act of transformation. It turns that overwhelming flood of raw information into something curated, discoverable, and truly useful. And that is what we call knowledge.
And this chart? It's the perfect way to see what's happening. You start with a huge amount of raw information. Then you apply structure to it, things like categorization, clear pathways, search tools. And when you do that, you don't just organize it, you create something way more valuable. You create knowledge that people can actually find, understand, and use to innovate and solve real-world problems.
And just like that, we've come full circle. This entire blueprint, this whole city map, it's all designed to serve two main purposes. For the reader, it's an engine for discovery. For the creator, it's a platform for making an impact. It's this amazing symbiotic system where consuming knowledge and creating new knowledge are constantly feeding each other.
So all of this leaves us with a huge question for the future. The city of ideas we toured today is already massive, but the amount of information in the world is growing at an exponential rate. So how will the maps we use to navigate it all have to evolve? They'll have to get smarter, more personalized, more dynamic, because otherwise, our beautiful city of ideas could very quickly turn into an impenetrable jungle.